What's up guys? Long time no see. I can't believe how long it's been since I recorded a video. I almost feel like I forgot. My baby's here. I almost feel like I forgot how to do it. And I have a new camera, so I'm testing it out. I'm just holding it in my hand. So in the future, you'll see these videos be more professional, hopefully. And I'm also testing how the audio sounds, so I'm not using a special microphone attached. And we'll just test it out and see what it's like. So if it's not great, my apologies. It'll hopefully be better in the future. I wanted to hop on here and do some quick casual Q&A. I asked you guys on Instagram if you preferred whether I talk about a day in the life as a new mom or if I answer some of your questions about maternity leave, and the maternity leave Q&A won by a hair. So I'm gonna answer some of your questions. So one really great question that many of you asked about was how I planned financially for maternity leave. And I think I might have discussed this in an earlier video, maybe a Q&A or my maternity leave video, but essentially as soon as I found out that I was pregnant, I started stowing away money every month for maternity leave. So I found out I was pregnant in December 2018 and I went on maternity leave in August 2018. It basically gave me 8 months to stow away money, and I had planned to take That's my little baby. I had planned to take up to 4 months off for maternity leave. So essentially each month that I was pregnant leading up to my maternity leave, I saved half a month's worth of expenses. And that's how I planned for it. And I kind of over-planned, and I think I probably... One second. And we're back. New mom life. But I stowed away extra because I'm that person. I probably saved up enough to cover like 6 months of expenses. So I did plan maternity leave so that I wouldn't be taking a paycheck while I'm on leave. I am in a position where I'm fortunate enough that my husband's income is enough to cover us while I'm on leave, that I don't need more than breaking even. But that way I just wouldn't be going into debt while I was on leave. There's different ways to do that, but that's how I've planned it. Another question that many of you asked was how long I'm taking off. I'm still on leave right now. It's been about 6 or 7 weeks since I started leave, and I told my clients I would take 2 to 4 months off. Now that I'm in it, I'm leaning towards the 4 months, but I'm giving myself a few more days to decide, so we'll see how long I end up taking off. And then I would tell my clients around the 2-month mark a more official return date, so that way they kind of know when I'm coming back, but I gave myself some wiggle room, which was much appreciated by myself, by me. I really love this question. How long before your due date did you take off? Yes, I thought 2 weeks before my due date would be plenty of time. And I think in a number of different types of careers, like if I had a desk job, that would be more than enough time. But in retrospect, I'm realizing I wish I took off earlier, maybe at around like 36 weeks along. And the reason for that, the primary reason for that, is just pregnancy brain hit me so hard. So having to focus and attune to clients when not only is your body super uncomfortable, but your mind isn't really working at its sharpest. It was really difficult. So I really tried to let my practice slow down. And of course it got super busy in July, right before I took off. I took off at the beginning of August. So that was challenging, and I wish I took off a little bit earlier, but I think everyone's experience is different. A few of you have asked about whether I'm doing any remote sessions, and I haven't yet done anything with clients. I might do some remote sessions before that 4-month mark. I still want to give myself the wiggle room to not, if any of you are parents out there, you know that babies don't go on a schedule right away. Maybe, hopefully someday, but right now I'm working on her schedule. So to schedule a client when maybe that's when she's going to want to eat, it just sounds super stressful. So I want to wait until she's on a schedule before I start seeing clients. Oh, I love this question. So what is my policy on clients contacting me during leave? I thought about this a long time. I thought that maybe it was my duty to be available for clients to contact me while I was on leave, but after doing some consultation with colleagues and thinking it over a little bit more, I realized it's completely reasonable to be unreachable for a period of time as long as I have the supports in place for my clients so that they know where they can reach out if they need help. So I made myself 100% unavailable during my leave. So I completely logged out of everything. This is a good time to segue into another question, because one of you asked, how did you resist checking emails? Yes, I knew myself I would definitely be checking emails if I didn't take some sort of like drastic measure. So I completely hid my laptop away and I wasn't allowed to use it. And I deleted all my work-related apps from my phone and completely logged out of everything. So like I deleted Instagram, I deleted my email app, I deleted Google Voice. Of course, I had autoresponders on my email, and I had a voicemail that was very clear about my lack of availability, and I just deleted everything. So if anyone reached out to me, there's just no possible way for me to see it unless I went and like re-downloaded the apps or like went and pulled out my laptop that I stowed away. So that was my strategy, and I did just start to pull all those things out and start downloading some of those apps again in the last week. Now that at this point I am 5 weeks postpartum. So that's been my strategy, and I'm going to reach out to my clients at 6 weeks postpartum to kind of keep them posted. Otherwise, I would have been checking that email like every day, and it would have been stressing me out. The next question, congrats, thank you, appreciate it. How much do you miss work? Let me tell you, before going into maternity leave, I thought I was going to mega miss work and just be dying to get back to work, probably sooner than is best, or I don't know. As it turns out, now that I'm here, and maybe some of you parents out there can relate, like I feel like if I never went back to work, I'd probably be fine. That's probably not an accurate statement in reality. Like if I went 6 months or a year and I didn't work at all, I think I might go a little stir crazy. I mean, and let's be honest, me filming this video right now is a type of work in a way, though I enjoy it very much. But I don't miss the client work yet. There's just something really special about being at home with little baby girl. She changes so much even from day to day that I just don't have any desire to leave and do something else right now. I mean, I'm filming this video because I'm holding her and you can see her a little bit there. So it lets me do both in a way. Oh, she just like projectile spat her pacifier on me. And she farted. Hashtag mom life. So to answer the question, I am not missing work. I think the time will come though that I'll miss it. I was going down the freeway and passing the exit for my office, and there was a part of me that was thinking, oh, I do miss work. And that was like the one time that I left home without my baby so far. So it's almost like I forgot that I was a mom for a second. Also, if you're wondering why I haven't shown my baby's face on camera, it's one of those things where I haven't decided yet if I want to show her face on the internet. And of course, once that cat's out of the bag, you can't put it back in. So who knows, maybe you'll be seeing her on the internet later at some point, but I want to still have the freedom to decide not to have her face on the internet. I love this next question because I didn't even think about it, to be honest, until being a mom. But the question is, how will you manage breastfeeding and work in case you breastfeed? So I didn't even think about this before becoming a mom, but it is such a great question. I am breastfeeding, though I could do a whole video about feeding my child, but that's not what this channel is about. But it's so true. How do you manage breastfeeding and going back to work? I don't know. Do you guys have any tips for that? I mean, my hope is that my baby will be on a little bit more of a schedule, and so I can do some amount of breastfeeding and some amount of feeding her pumped milk. So I don't actually know. So if you have any tips, just bring them on. If you've gone back to work in any form of work with a baby and you breastfed, how did you do it? Tell me how you did it. Thanks. Okay, the next question is, do you expect former clients to return, or have they moved on in their work elsewhere? Well, to be honest, that's TBD at this point because I'm still on maternity leave. I anticipate that a fair number of my clients will return to me. And I do talk about that in my maternity leave video, so I'll link to that so you can hear more about how I made sure clients were well cared for while I was away. But most of my clients, I think, will probably return. I'll have to keep you posted once I'm actually back. Okay, this question is, how early did you begin preparing your clients for your leave? I started telling clients in March of 2019, which I think if you do the math, is that like 6 months before I went on leave? There's a question that says, what about paternity leave? Of course, paternity leave is so important. I just happen to be a mom, so it's called maternity leave for me. But I'll speak to a little bit of how my husband and I arrange things. My husband did take paternity leave for 4 weeks. Now we're 5 weeks out, so he's been back at work for a week now. And that was super helpful. If you have a partner who can take leave with you, please maximize that. And last question for now. How can I turn my maternity leave into retirement without anyone noticing? Oh, if only it were so simple. I don't know the answer, but if you know the answer, leave a comment below and, what's the word? Enlighten us. Oops. Oh man. I don't know what button I pushed. I pushed a button. What is that? Okay.